Раз. Всем привет.
Hello, friends. Hi, everyone.
Кибербез развивается.
Cybersecurity has been developing.
Появляются, становятся все лучше.
There are Russian solutions out there, and they're becoming better and better. Most likely, there are here in this audience the people who will be creating next generation products, and he'll be growing in the next 2, 3, 5 years. Since I've completed this journey from just a pentester who worked for a company for a salary to a founder of his own business, I would like to share with you
основными ключевыми точками, которые вам, как следующим создателям, разработчикам,
key points that
развивателям,
may be relevant to you as future creators and developers of your own solutions. In my presentation, which is intended for you, those present in this audience, and those viewing us online. So my presentation is intended for those who work in major companies, you as people who amass expertise. And it's only you who know what the customers require and what are the requirements of the products that will be coming to the markets in the years to come. Why am I in a position to discuss it? It's because I was in your shoes. I was there, and I understand that you strive to develop, to expand to new markets. Well, I felt the same 3 years ago. Clearly, however great my intention to cover everything might be, I'm in no position to go over everything I learned in the past 3 years. Entrepreneurs spend most of their time on networking, speaking to partners and clients. And in the end of my presentation, I'll show you a link to the channel you'll be using if you wish to ask me questions. So my name is Vladimir Ivanov. I'm founder and CEO of ScanFactory. We aggregate scanners in one solution so that our customers can avoid looking at multiple products, getting all in one. I used to work as a pentester, as I said before. I was in charge of pentester teams, and I understand that everything can be put into a single solution and launched to the market. So, if you opt for this ironclad journey and decide to become an entrepreneur working in this area, I've spoken to many people who decided to go for cybersecurity, and I put down a number of misconceptions. First, people may think, I'm going to write a product, it will be a cool product, I'll sell it, and it will be enough for me to spend the rest of my life somewhere in the Maldives. And it will be selling on its own. It's a misconception. The only person who knows how to sell is the founder themselves. It's only you who knows how to sell your product. Therefore, you'll have to deal with it. Next, fast growth. You may think, I've generated an idea. It can be a bug bounty scanner, for example. Now, I'm going to propagate its collaterals, and it will be developing on its own. However, the lifespan of a B2B cycle is between 4 and 6 months. No company is going to buy from you immediately. It's a process which involves getting approvals and so forth, which deters growth. Only gradual development is possible.
при создании продуктов можете
Quite often people ask, well, have a look at the experience of Yandex, other companies, major enterprises. They'll be telling you, come to ask questions about your pain points and so forth. This may sound correct. However, the process of conversion from expert to entrepreneur works differently. You know what should be done. You only need to learn how to package it. As to the time to be spent on networking, reaching out to people, you may think that it's the time spent in the day. Naturally, without a product that may be interesting to the customer, nobody is going to pay you. So you have to generate an idea, and then you'll have to launch it to the market to sell it. Once we have decided what kind of idea it should be and understood that we should go to the market with this idea, we want to find some opportunities that would be instrumental. And here are some items
сладенькими, маячащими где-то вдалеке идеями, которые хочется от них получить помощь, на самом деле их не
may look great and helpful, which is not the case. First, investments and funding from major companies. I would hate to name those companies, those who might come with their cooperation proposals. Never ever have I received any money from such companies. They would listen to me very attentively, follow my development, and in the end of the day, they would say, thank you for telling your story to us, but we decided to go with our own solutions, to go forward with our own products. Before you can demonstrate sales, no such company will buy from you. Only if you can show revenues or trends or a ready pipeline will they be interested. Next, grants or government support. I'm in no position to say that there is no such support. However, the volume of such grants is not significant. And it's very difficult to rely on it when you need to hire people or do something. And it's a pretty lengthy process. However long I tried it, neither my friends nor myself have ever managed. Well, there is such a support, of course, but it does not suffice. The next part, business part. Distribution. On my next slide, I'll cover B2B channels. And now a few words about growth. You have an idea and you want to replicate it and to sell it to several companies. Usually distributors do it. Classical distributors, major companies, they have their own channels, people lining up to get their service. And too many people want to establish relations with them. There is no point to go to them if you're just beginning, because you still don't have anything to scale out. It's important to remember it. Next, accelerators. Yet another sweet idea, you may think. We will turn to some accelerator, they'll give us some money, a network will be established. Well, I have experience with 5 accelerators, both international and Russian, reputable and not. Well, the competition is to, hey, you don't have enough time to spend on those presentations, meetings, and so forth. It does not pay back. Next, how to complete your first sale. You can come and say, look, we have a great idea. Usually people go straight to directors. Look, we have a great idea. Let's find our target audience, draw a beautiful banner, and here we are. No, B2B works according to its own laws. Don't spend time on things that shouldn't be done in the starting point. Another story which is popular, especially in the West, is friend making. Let's make friends, join numerous groups, write all those ideas down, establish those funnels, sales funnels. There is a lot of such spam out there on the market. You shouldn't go for it. And you will save a lot of money to focus on what will be really instrumental. What does work? It's partners, webinars, and personal contacts. My next slide will be devoted to partnerships. As to the webinars, it's still unclear. You advertise your event, then you prepare a presentation and advertise it in mass media. You can see a lot of bloggers here. Go to those guys, buy advertisement space or time, and you'll get your audience. Those people who follow the news, who want to fulfill their potential, they'll get registered to take part in your webinar, and they will be listening to you. As to the personal brand, no point in spending too much time on it. It's important. It is what it is. Now, how to make a start? Do it in this way. First, select your niche. It may be unclear to you. You're technical guys, you want to monetize, and you have two ways. This red bar and this blue bar. The red one is the product that can be scaled out, or you can go for services. Pen test services, protection services, protection against phishing, red team support, or whatever it might be. It is easier to sell services. There is always demand for them. Quite often, different proposals are posted, you can use them, you will earn faster. So it's up to you to decide what you're going to earn on. What's necessary for your first sales? Something without which you will not be able to do business further. Firstly, you need MVP, your product, something you can show to your potential customer, explaining this is the input, this is the output, these are the deliverables, and you don't need to invest, and these are the benefits that you will get working with us. Of course, those pilot results should be measurable. I can give you an example. We have our scanner. Before we understood that in the end of a pilot project, a report is needed showing the risks identified is a no-go situation. It needs to be measurable. And having such result, it's easier to sell. By the way, don't forget to prepare your questions, if any. I'm always open for them. Next, your presentation, your PDF document. A document A4 in size with your company overview, something that you could send to your prospects, brief facts about you, your value proposition. You also need a presentation to help people familiarize themselves with the offering. And to have it, you may need a designer, someone who can help you with it.
Когда вы выходите на рынок с продуктом, нужно сравнение с конкурентами.
You have to compare yourself with the competitors. When we started 3 years ago, there was not a lot of competitors, and I do understand there is not a market which is not obvious. Well, you have an idea that password manager, it's a bad idea. Any other interesting idea which has not been presented on the market, no competitors, yes, it's going to be difficult to make full-scale comparison saying that you have this feature, but nobody has it. But you have to keep the battle card, you have to follow the competitors, you have to follow how they develop, what features do they have, how they build the difference with you, competitive advantage, so that you know what you have to pay attention to when you compare yourself to the competitors. It will help clients to make decisions about various products. Well, registering, there's no way without it. I'm not going to speak about it a lot, but you need to get into the registry of the software. This is an interesting point, and it kills 3 birds. First of all, client likes it if he's in a registry that it's a Russian company, which is wonderful. Point number 2, zero interest VAT. It's a good for channel sales, about which I'm going to speak in the next slide. What are these sales? And it helps you not to pay taxes. And in 24, it's still okay. And bird number 3, it's going to help you to determine your own minimal level of growth, at which stage your product is located. And this is where you need documentation, technical support, screenshot. So these will help you to form understanding of how your product is seen by the market from the point of view of documents, functionality which is available at a given moment of time. And the final one is a confidence. Why did I put you here? Because we've been communicating with network founders, VBN, and we've been communicating about an interesting difference when company switches from the moment of infancy or conception, like you have something that nobody buys it, but then you come and you say, please buy it, it's so wonderful, please do it. And by the moment when we have this value and we understand, please pay attention, let's work together. So this internal confidence defines the tone of dialogue, and this is something that has been protected from the first and second case. It helps. Feel confident, client feels it, and then communication works much better in a result. How the commercial part works. There are people who knows about it. Well, 3 years ago when I've just started, I have just general perception of how the scheme works. On the top, it's the vendor, manufacturer, people who create products, develop and bring value. Most likely, I think that these are you, those who are interested on the right side as a client, those who pay for the product, and between them there's a chain consisting of 2 classical links. And I'm not telling you how the WB works, but how in any B2B. Well, distributor, it's a little bit on the left, closer to vendor. It's a company which is an entry point for vendor to communicate with the external world. Partner is closer to the client. Create documentation, helps the client to select from solutions and participate in this chain as an important auxiliary link to organize this sales channel. As a fact, these are also global numbers. This channel between vendor and client can take up to 50%. Well, different interest rates for every transaction. This commercial part works on separate laws, but the thing is that if you have manufactured something for ruble, client can pay for these 1 point or maybe 2. And intermediary links in the chain. Well, what is a good idea here? That market is not limited by those distributors and partners who are present
on the market, who are the brightest ones, and you can have an understanding that only with them you can work. But there's a big number of partners and integrators in Russia, tens of thousands, a lot of them, and all of them are on different stages of development. There are initial companies, small companies, which begin as vendors. They want to monetize their contracts, and they really want to propose new solutions. And also the same thing is related to other chain links. They also want to grow together with you. That's why there always will be a company that will be happy to promote an interesting solution that will be promoted on the market.
Как правильно это говорится, дегтя, ложку дегтя в бочку меда, в общем.
Couple of
Рынок
negative things.
почему-то устроен, что, ну не почему-то, а по вполне понятным причинам.
For some reason,
все, когда просто существуют деньги, и они присутствуют, в принципе, в сделках,
there are money and they are in transactions, and all these commercial stories are related to money. Every stage, every link wants to earn money on this stage.
Партнеры отдела закупку заказчика,
partners, procurement department, in different situations, they will have a different desire how to move this in their own direction. So you have to be ready for this. Because young companies always pay money. And please take into consideration there's a sad story in the development. Why it makes sense to move into this story? Yes, of course, for the money. But which horizons are being opened if you will continue doing what you are doing? For example, we are in the forum of Positive Technology. Positive Technology is a web vendor company, and they went to stock exchange market. They have a lot of money. It's understandable that it's doubtful that there will be a possibility to build second positive of the same scale in Russia. However, money comes to vendors. Vendors open new opportunities for the development of their own business, creating new product and managing markets on a larger scale. So honestly speaking, vendors' position is a very interesting one and promising one, if you can say that, irrespectively to the fact that at early stages of development, there could be some difficult moments.
Что ведет к успеху?
What leads to success? Work. You have to do your work. You have to create products and believe that it will work. If this is a very good and valuable product, everything's going to be all right, but the time should be passed. Like we are coming back to the beginning, where transactions take a lot of period of time. The longer lives the company, the longer is the period, and this time can be passed. Don't give up. Donald Trump was saying that. Never give up.
То есть, на самом деле, лучше мотивации вот сложно дать, потому что
and there is no better motivation than that.
Работать на вас, и нужно
I will work for you.
Не сдаваться. Так, пока ты
Please don't give up. While you're sleeping, the enemy is getting stronger. There's always competition in different segments of the market. It's this balance. And the one who does more work, they have more advantages to come to the final line and to be the first one. Networking, communication with the partners, entrepreneurs. Well, connections do solve, and B2B is built in such a way. That's why we are gathered here, and I'm speaking about networking, which is important. So what do you have to pass? This is a dark forest with its dragons, which leads to a princess and in a castle. Truthfully, well, it is difficult, but if you move on without stopping, hitting into one point and remembering about complicated percentages, and with every new step,
Просто в геометрической прогрессии будет увеличиваться ценность, если добавлять
In geometrical progression, the value is going to grow if it was accumulated in previous stage.
Да, про это уже сказал. Так вот, короче, очень долго говорил про
So I've been speaking about networking and how important it is. This is the QR code for Telegram channel. You can subscribe to it, and please don't forget that this presentation was happening and this Vladimir Ivanov was speaking at the PhDs 2024. If you will have any question with any about this idea, how this idea is interesting, or maybe you, or maybe you're a partner and you have a question. So if you have any questions or ideas, please enter this channel, network, and depending from those people who will come to this communication, this community will move in this or in another direction.
Это все. Я готов ответить на те вопросы, которые есть в зале.
I'm ready to answer the questions from the audience or maybe on my tablet PC. Thank you very much.
Вопросов.
12 questions.
Ну, у нас 10 минут, поэтому...
We have 10 minutes. 1 minute per question, and then maybe a couple of them will be good. How at the start I can motivate the team and believe into the success of the product?
Как правило, мотивация
As a rule, team motivation
через раздачу долей
goes through the sharing,
и при
distribution of the shares, and
то есть
alignment of the ideas with the partners.
Человека, который не хочет
To motivate a person who doesn't want to play in a long-term perspective. Like your game in this company, it is very difficult. That's why it can be motivated only by this level. How to motivate a team to believe in the success of the product? Well, these are very thin matters, honestly speaking.
Смотришь на человека, вот видишь и веришь ему.
For example, if you look at a person, you look at him and you believe him. So if you believe, but you understand that he will be able to do this, it's a good motivation. So if he's seen, there is a lot. It's not understand the, or maybe it's much more difficult in the West due to in our country, it's much easier to understand the information security business just because we all speak Russian. And of course, you already have some networking in the information security. In the foreign one, there is an institute, like venture investment institution accelerators.
Делают посев, да, из нескольких миллионов рублей в небольшие команды.
Which makes seed out of several million rubles in small teams. You survive yourself, but big possibilities are available in Russian Federation, import substitution, etc. Foreign countries, in foreign countries it can be much more difficult to do products due to competition.
Я вот когда принимал решение делать в России или не в России.
So when I made a decision to do it in Russia or not in Russia, I decided to do it in Russia and then see what will happen in the future with the company. What effective non-financial and barriers of entering Russian information security market, and what are the first steps that you would recommend to the entrepreneur that wants to achieve his product among domestic users?
Effective
non-financial strategies to overcome the barriers of the entrance of Russian information security market.
Ну, кажется, здесь речь идет о том, что
Well, I think that I will tell you how it was with me, and there will be an answer to this question. You have to accumulate a certain amount of money to have enough money to live for yourself and pay salary to the first guys who you will hire. Without financial pillow, I had a couple of slides before. Without financial pillow, you shouldn't move in this direction. It's like you put final money into the cryptocurrency or to the exchange rate. You shouldn't do that. You need to have a pillow, reserve money.
Как продавать крутое решение, будучи стартапом, когда
How can you sell a good solution when you're a startup and people don't know about you?
Хороший вопрос. Канальные продажи —
Good
это
question.
вот основной инструмент
Channel
для B2B продаж.
sales,
То есть вы
it's a tool for
мотивируете
B2B
партнеров продавать
sales.
ваше
You
решение
motivate
за счет
your
процента сделок, которые
partners
этот
to
партнер вам
sell
принесет.
your
В
products
B2B
through the
партнерские
center of
продажи
transaction. Well,
работают
in
хорошо,
B2B,
поэтому
partnership
чем
sales
больше
will
процент вы
work
дадите
pretty well.
партнеру, тем
So
больше
the
он будет
more
замотивирован
percentage
поставить
you
ваше
give to the
решение
partner, the
своим
more he's going to be
заказчикам.
motivated to give this solution to his
То есть это
clients.
только
So this is
канальные
a
продажи.
channel
Когда на
sales,
рынке
only
много
channel
конкуренции, о
sales.
тебе еще мало
When there's
знают.
a lot of competition on the
Но
market, but
собирать
people don't know about you. Well, collect references,
просить дать рекомендации,
ask for giving recommendations.
не знаю, вешать, ну,
I don't know.
любым способом пытаться
In
закрепиться
any
в большом
way,
количестве
try to
заказчиков,
get
давая
hold
скидки,
with a big number
давая
of
там
clients
что-то
by
делая
giving
с
discounts,
минимальной стоимостью, чтобы о тебе
doing
начали
something with
узнавать.
minimal value so that
Наверное,
people
только
start
никак.
learning about you.
По-другому
That's
никак.
the only way, no other way.
Но при этом, да, это тоже нужно делать осознанно, потому что,
But at the
зная,
same
что в
time, it has to
пентесте
be done
особенно будет
cognitively
есть
because
такая
in paid
история,
pen
когда
test and in services there's a
кто-нибудь выкидывает
story
какой-нибудь конкурс, где стандартная цена
where
там,
there's a
условно, 1 000 000
competition with
рублей,
a standard price for 1
ребята
million
там из
rubles,
откуда-нибудь
but
из
some
небольшого города,
people
где-то там
from
с
a
края
small
страны говорят, мы
town,
сделаем за 100 000 рублей.
they say,
Так
we will
им
do it
говорить
for
не надо,
100,000
вы
rubles.
так делаете
Well, you
хуже только всему
shouldn't
рынку.
dumping like
Вот,
that. You
поэтому
destroy the whole market by this.
нужно, то есть так делать плохо, так делать не нужно.
It's very bad to do
Как
that.
удержаться на рынке и как стать круче
How to
конкурентов.
hold yourself on the market and be
Удержаться
above
на
your
рынке за
competitors.
счет развития
To stay in the
продукта,
market by the development of the
однозначно, за счет
product,
инвестиций
definitely
в
by
продукт.
investments into the
Как стать
product.
круче конкурентов? Ну да, пожалуй, это ответ на
How
этот
to get
вопрос. То
ahead
есть,
of many competitors? Well, this is the answer to this
общаться с
question.
пользователями,
Communicate
обязательно
with
общаться с
users,
заказчиками, слышать
definitely.
их, реализовывать
Communicate with
фичи
clients,
и
apply new features,
развиваться за
and
счет
just
более
develop
сильного
at the account
продукта,
of
который вы
stronger
создадите.
product
Чтобы попасть
that
в
you
реестр
will
ПО,
create.
нужен рабочий демо-стенд,
To
очевидно,
get
сканер,
into the
чтобы у вас был
registry, you have to
CE-сканер,
create
какие
demo
проблемы с сдачей в
stand.
реестр.
You will be scanned.
Проблем
Tell
с сдачей в
me
реестр
about the
не
problem
было,
of
прошли
getting
с
into the
первого
registry.
раза.
There was no
Это
problem.
просто
We passed through
временной
it for the
было
first time.
затраты, вот я не
It
помню,
was
4 или
just
там
timely
5 месяцев
cost,
это
like
шло.
4 or
Рабочий
5
демо-стенд не
months
нужен.
that took
Тогда,
us.
если в
Demo
тот
stand
момент,
you
когда
don't
вы
need it.
приходили, нужно было
If at the moment
загрузить
when you've been
ISO-шник с
passing it, you
продуктом,
just had to download
проверяли
ISO
этот
with the
ISO-шник или
product,
нет, не
they've been
знаю,
checking
но
this ISO or
как бы
they
мы
didn't, I
отдавали
don't
ISO-шник в
know.
работоспособном
But we
состоянии.
gave the ISO in a working
Есть идея
condition.
продукта, но при этом для разработки
You have an
нужны
idea of a
финансы,
product,
даже
but
для
for the
разработки
development you need
MVP. Имеет
finances,
ли смысл в
even
таком
for the
случае
development of
выходить на
MVP.
краудфандинг или
Does it
тратить
make
время?
sense to go to crowdfunding or I will lose my
Я
time?
считаю, что это
I
скорее
believe
краудфандинг, это
that
скорее потеря времени. У
crowdfunding,
нас
it's
были идеи,
mostly
мы,
loss
собственно, и
of time.
общался с
We
ребятами,
did
которые
have
ходили на
ideas, and I've been communicating with the
Product
guys
Hunt,
who went to
американская
Product
площадка,
Hunt,
где
American
ежедневно там
platform,
за какой-то
where on daily
стартап голосует, он
basis
попадает в топ, его видят
people vote for
инвесторы
startup, it
и
goes
хотят
to
там в него как-то
top, and
инвестировать там
investors
маленькими
see it,
суммами
and
или
they want to
большими.
invest with small or big
В
amounts
целом,
into it.
наверное, это зависит от идеи и
Generally,
зависит от
everything depends on the
стартапа, потому что
idea
все мы
and
знаем
the
Hyper Zero,
startup,
да, который
because we
насобирал
all know
свои там какие-то
Hyper who
миллионы
collected
за очень
millions
короткий срок за счет
in a short period
краудфандинга.
of time
В целом для
due to the
софтверных продуктов,
crowdfunding.
наверное,
But for the
не имеет
software
смысла, потому
products,
что
this is not a
разработка ПО — это,
place
в принципе, такая ниша,
because software development, it's a niche
в которой нужно просто время
where
разработчиков
you
для создания
one just
чего-то
need
ценного. То
the
есть
time for
там
developers to
особо
create
инвестиций,
something
кроме
valuable.
временных, на самом деле,
Except for time
ну или
investments,
зарплаты не нужны.
there are no other investments. You
Были
don't
ли
need any
мысли или
salaries.
предложения продать
Did you
компанию
have any
за дорого,
thoughts or
начавшую новую с
ideas
большим капиталом?
to sell the company for more expensive, for bigger capital?
Ну, честно говоря, как бы
Honestly
фантазии были, вот
speaking,
серьезных мыслей не
we
было.
did have fantasies,
На
but
самом
not
деле,
serious ideas.
с хорошей идеей можно, просто нет смысла
With
продавать
good
компанию,
idea, there is
потому
no
что зачем?
sense to sell the company
Как
because
правильно
why?
участвовать в конкурсах и тендерах, дайте
How to
советы.
participate in
Наверное,
competitions or
за
tenders? Give me
полторы
advice.
минуты оставшиеся я, наверное, не смогу это
In
сделать.
1.5 minutes, I will not be able to
Конкретно
give you
этот
this
вопрос,
answer
потому
to
что
this
это не
question
так
because
просто. Ну,
it's not that simple.
заранее понимаете, за какую сумму вы готовы работать, ниже нее
Understand in
не
advance
идите. То
for
есть нет
which amount
смысла
you should work.
демпинговать.
Well, you
Наверное,
have to
общий совет
understand this
такой.
amount, but
Как
don't
обеспечить
do
свой
dumping.
как
How to
обезопасить свой продукт,
provide,
чтобы его не
how to
украли.
make your product safe so it
Хороший
wouldn't be
вопрос.
stolen. Very good question.
Тут вопрос, что именно имеется в виду там.
Well, it's a
Код,
question. What do you mean by
идея
that?
или,
The code, the
не
idea,
знаю, там,
or I don't know.
То есть, на самом деле, в двух словах сложно ответить.
It's difficult to answer.
Я бы на самом деле не переживал, потому
I
что
wouldn't worry.
Потому что, когда вы продаете свое решение какому-то
Because
заказчику,
when you sell your solution to the client, he's not going to steal it to use it for free,
перепродавать кому-то, потому что
to resell it to somebody because you work with respecting company which pays money for license. It's a commercial relations based in the agreement.
Вы работаете с юрлицами,
So
то
if you work with legal entities, the risk is very small. I have only one question. I have two questions left.
будет
Well,
пора.
two questions left.
Почему нельзя избежать
Stop.
лишних выплат из
Why
стран
can't you
партнёра?
avoid
Если заказчик
extra
хочет
payments to
напрямую
the
купить
partners? Well,
решение,
if the
какая
client
провокация
wants to
пошла?
buy a
Это
solution
получается, как
directly,
выплата
what's
риэлтора по
the
съеме квартиры. Так,
well,
ладно,
it's
последний
depending
вопрос.
like
Имеет ли смысл
searching for
проводить анализ
realtor.
рынка вакансий по тематике
Do
своего
you
бизнеса?
need to
Помогает ли
make
это выявлять болевые точки у
research of the market
потенциальных
of
клиентов?
vacancies? Will discover the interesting
Интересный
points of
вопрос.
the potential clients? It's an
Нужно ли
interesting
проводить
question.
анализ рынка вакансий по
Do you need
тематике
to
своего
do
бизнеса?
analysis of
Ну,
vacancies for
я
the
не
topic
думаю,
of your
что
business?
этот
Well,
анализ
I
как-то
don't think
серьезно
that this
поможет
analysis will
что-то
seriously
понять,
help
кроме
you to
того,
understand
что
anything,
конкурент
except for the fact that
нанимает определенные
competitor
вакансии. Возможно,
hires
вы
certain
поймете
vacancies.
стек, да, на
Maybe
котором они
you will
пишут, вы
understand
поймете,
the
сколько
stack about
человек
which they don't try.
он
Maybe you
может
will
потенциально нанять,
understand
какие люди ему в
how
данный
many
момент нужны,
people
но
can
рынок
be
вакансий,
hired, which
то
people
есть вот эта
they
вся
need
HR-ная
right
тема,
now.
она
So this HR topic, the
по
market
сути,
of
то есть не так
vacancies.
много информации
Well, there's
раскрывает
not a lot of
о
information
состоянии
about it,
компании, в
about
принципе.
state of the
Как, например,
company in
финансовые
principle.
отчеты, которые там
As for
публикуются
financial
на
reports which
налог.ру.
are published at
Помогает ли это выявлять болевую точку потенциальных клиентов?
taxes.ru,
Ну вот мы
doesn't
были
help to
такие
potential
фантазии о
clients.
том, что давайте заходить
Yes, we
заказчиков,
did have
основываясь на том, что они ищут
fantasies.
там ЦИСа прямо
Let's
сейчас,
find the
значит, у них
clients that
значит,
they're
нет
looking for CISA,
достроенных
which
процессов,
means
они ищут
that
обсек,
they
значит,
don't
они скоро будут
have
искать какой-нибудь
processes, or if they're searching for AppSec, they will search for DAST very soon. No, it doesn't work like that. Yes, you have information,
необычное, но это не знакомство
some unusual information, but it's not getting to know a specific person who is interested to select a certain solution. So it will not influence your sales. So timer is up. That's it. Thank you.
Так, мне, наверное, нужно было сказать...
Well, perhaps I had to say
за лучший вопрос нужно
for
дать
the best question,
Давайте
they
выберем
need to give the
лучший
gift.
вопрос,
Okay,
и
I
мы
will select
узнаем,
the
есть
best
ли кто-то сидящий
question,
в зале,
and we'll
который
find
задавал
out
этот лучший
is
вопрос.
this person here.
Ну, как вот вы, наверное, уже видели, что
As you
меня
have
навесили
seen,
про деньги на предыдущий
that I had this label about the money during the
В
previous
общем, вот тут
roundtable.
были ли мысли и предложения продать компанию задорого и начать
Whether
что-то новое с
proposals
большим
to sell the
капиталом?
company
Есть ли
for
вот в зале человек,
expensive with
который
big
задавал?
capital? Do we have a person who asked this question?
Пожалуйста, подарите вот этому молодому
Yeah,
человеку.
please give to this young person merchandise.
Да, еще раз спасибо.
Thank you very much.